Welcome back students for the session number 10 of module 5, that is arches and cable structures. In the last session we have discussed about analysis of cables with supports at same level subjected to UDL, and in this session we will take up analysis of cables having supports at different level subjected to UDL. Okay, so analysis of cable subjected to point loads when the supports are at a different level. So the analysis will be similar to as that of the cable subjected to point load having its supports at the same level. So therefore that problem I am not going to take up. So straight away we will move to analysis of cables having supports at different level subjected to UDL. This is the analysis of cables. So let us take up a numerical problem on this one. A suspension cable carries a UDL of 35 kN per meter over a span of 80 meter. The cable is supported on frictionless rollers or pulley fixed to the pier. The anchor cables are inclined at 30 degree to the horizontal. One pier is 5.5 meter below the other, and the maximum dip of the cable at the lowest point is 5 meter below the lower pier. Calculate maximum and minimum tensions in the cable. Forces transmitted to the pier. Take height of the tower as 25 meter. Also calculate length of the cable and diameter of the cable required if the allowable stress in the cable material is 120 Newton per mm square. So this is the given problem. So let us draw the cable diagram. So this is the cable diagram. ABC is the cable. So you can see here, carries a UDL of 35 kN per meter over a span of 80 meter. So the span is 80 meter and it carries a UDL of 35 kN per meter. And then one pier is 5.5 meter below the other, and the maximum dip of the cable at the lowest point is 5 meter below the lower pier. So one pier, either it may be A or B, whichever you feel convenient, you can do that one. So one of the piers is 5.5 meter below the other. Okay, so this support P is 5.5 at this point, and support A is 5.5 meter below the other. Okay, and the maximum dip of the cable at the lowest point is 5 meter below the lower pier. So it is 5 meter below the lower pier. So this is the lower pier. So the position of maximum dip point is 5 meter below the lower pier. So now you can write H1 and H2. So to find, before that we have to find L1 and L2. So here H1 is the rise of the dip of the cable from the left end. So dip of the cable from the left end is 5 meter, and whereas dip of the cable from the right end it is 5.5 plus 5, that is 10.5 meter. So let us use this equation. L1 by root H1 is equal to L2 by root H2, that is equal to L1 plus L2 divided by root of H1 plus root of H2. So let us substitute the values here. L1 divided by H1 is root 5, that is equal to L2 divided by H2 is 5.5 plus 5, 10.5 meter, that is equal to L1 plus L2, that is the span. Okay, total span of the cable 80 meters divided by root H1 is 5 plus root H2 is root of 10.5. So if you equate the first and the last term once, you will get L1, that is equal to 32.66 meter. And if you equate second and the third term, you will get L2, that is equal to 47.34 meters. So next we will find the reactions. Let HAV and HBV be the reactive, let it be the reactive components. Let us apply the equilibrium condition, that is sigma Fx equals 0, which implies HA equals HB. Okay, then next we will apply sigma Fx Fy is equal to 0, which gives VA and VB are acting in the upward direction. So VA plus VB minus this UDL, intensity of UDL into length over which it is acting. So 35 into 80. So if you simplify it, VA plus VB is equal to 2800 kilonewton. So now, even though the loading is symmetrical, you cannot take the reactive components VB and VA as same, because we have a unsymmetry in the geometry. Okay, so therefore you cannot take total load divided by 2 as the reactive components. Only when the structure as well as the loadings are symmetrical, then only you can take the load as equally shared by the two reactive components. So now to find the reactive components, let us apply the third equilibrium condition, that is sigma MA equals 0, which implies VB minus VB, this is inducing anticlockwise moment about A, so minus VB into 80 plus HB, this is inducing clockwise about A, so plus HB into 5.5, so the difference between A and B is 5.5 meter, so HB into 5.5 plus moment of the UDL, 35 into 80 into 80 by 2, that is 40 meters. So if you simplify it, the resulting equation will be 80 VB minus 5.5 HB, that is equal to 112 into 10 power 3 kilonewton. Take it as equation 3. Next, we know that bending moment at any point on the cable is 0. So since we know the dip at the maximum point C, we will take bending moment at C is equal to 0. We can take either the left end or the right end, but because this equation is in terms of VB and HB, so we will take the right part so that the equation will be in terms of VB and HB. Okay, so this is the right part of point C. So VB, this should have been VB, HB, and this total dip is 5.5 plus 5, that is 10.5 meter, and it is subjected to UDL, and length L2 is 47.34 meter. Let us apply bending moment at C is equal to 0. Let us take the right part. Okay, so if you apply it, VA into 47.34, VA into 47.34 minus HB, this is inducing hogging moment about C, therefore minus HB into 10.5, and then minus 35 into 47.34 into 47.34 divided by 2, that is equal to 0. So if you simplify it, it will be 47.34 VB minus 10.5 HB, that is equal to 39.22 into 10 power 3 kilonewton. Take it as equation 4. So we have two simultaneous equation and two unknowns VB and HB. So if you simplify equations 3 and 4, you can get the values of VB and HB. So solving equations 3 and 4, VB is equal to 1656.72 kilonewton and HB is equal to 3734.24 kilonewton. So from equation 1 we have HA equals HB, therefore same value of HB will be equal to HB. Then from equation 2 we have VA plus VB is equal to 2800, therefore VA will be equal to 1143.28 kilonewton. Okay, so these are the reactive components at end A and B. Now we will go for calculation of the net reactive components, that is RA and RB, alpha A and alpha B. RA is calculated by root of VA square plus HA square, that will be equal to, if you substitute the values of VA and HA, it will be equal to square root of 1143.28 square plus 3734.24 square, so that will be equal to 3905.33 kilonewton. Then alpha A, angle made by RA with respect to horizontal, is given by tan inverse of VA by HA, that will be equal to tan inverse of 1143.28 divided by 3734.24, so that will give an inclination of 17.24 degrees. Next, RB is calculated by using the equation VB square plus HB square, that is equal to 1656.72 square plus 3734.24 whole square under root. So that gives a value of 4085.25 kilonewton. And alpha b is given by tan inverse of Vb by Hb, that is equal to tan inverse of 1656.72 divided by 3734.24. So alpha b will be equal to 23.92 degrees. So that completes the first part of calculating the reactive components. So next we will move to the second part, that is to find maximum and minimum tensions in the cable. So whenever the cables are at the same level, both ends will have the same tension. Both tension in the suspension cable at both the supports will be same. Okay. Whereas in case of the cables which supports a different level, the cable attached to the pier having its support at the higher level. Okay. So that will carry maximum tension, whereas the cable connected to a lower level support, that will carry a lesser amount of tension in the cable. So in our problem, support B is at a higher position rather than support A. It is at 5.5 meter above support A. Therefore, the tension in the cable connecting to pier B will be subjected to maximum tension. Okay. So therefore directly we can take the RB value as the maximum tension in the cable. Okay. So T max is equal to the reactive component at B, net reaction, that is equal to 4085.25 kilonewton, and the angle made by the tangent drawn at the drawn to the cable at support B will be exactly equal to alpha B, that is theta max will be equal to alpha B, that is equal to 23.92 degrees. That is the maximum and its maximum tension in the cable and its inclination with respect to horizontal. Next, to find minimum tension. So we have already proved that minimum tension always occurs at the maximum dip or the maximum sag of the cable. So in this case it occurs at point C. Okay. So and it is exactly equal to the horizontal reaction or horizontal thrust reaction of the cable. Therefore T minimum is equal to horizontal reactions at end A or end B, that is equal to 3734.24 kilonewton. So at the maximum dip of the cable, if you draw a tangent, definitely it makes it will be horizontal. Okay, so the angle made by the tangent with respect to horizontal will be 0. Therefore theta minimum will be always equal to 0. Okay, so that is the maximum and minimum tensions in the cable. Next is to find forces transmitted to the tower. So here we have got two cases. One is if the pier is connected to a roller support, or if the pier is connected to a roller and frictionless pulley. If the pier is mounted with the frictionless pulley. Okay. So in that case, we have tension in the suspension cable is equal to maximum tension. So we should calculate the forces transmitted to that tower which is subjected to more force. Okay. So if you consider tower A to find the forces transmitted, tower A, the point or the cable at tower A will be having a tension of 3905.33 kilonewton, whereas the cable connected to tower B, which is at higher position, will have the maximum tension of 4085.25 kilonewton. Therefore tower B will be subjected to higher forces than tower A. Therefore we will consider tower B to find the forces transmitted to the tower. Okay. So we know that the tension in the suspension cable will be equal to maximum tension, that is equal to 4085.25 kilonewton, and angle made by the suspension cable with respect to horizontal is equal to 23.92 degrees, that is theta max. Okay, so now we will take up the and it is also given that the anchor cable is at an angle of 30 degree with respect to horizontal. Okay, so now we will take up the first case, that is when the cable passes over pulley. Let us draw the diagram. So this is the tower B, then this becomes the suspension cable, and this one becomes the anchor cable. Okay, so this is TA and TS, and this is the angle made by the suspension cable with respect to horizontal, and this is angle made by alpha as the angle made by anchor cable with respect to horizontal. This is the tower B. So TS, if you resolve it, it will be TS cos theta and TS sin theta. This is the tension in the anchor cable TA. If you resolve it, TA cos alpha and TA sin alpha. And it is given that the height of the tower is 25 meter. So now we will find the net. Before that, so we know that whenever the cable passes over a pulley, the tension in suspension cable will be equal to tension in the anchor cable. Therefore, TS is equal to TA. So that will be equal to T max, that is equal to 4085.25 kilonewton. So horizontal force, which is calculated by sigma Fx, so that is equal to TA cos alpha minus TS cos theta. So if you write it, so minus TS cos theta plus TA cos alpha. Substitute the values of TA, TS, theta and alpha. We know all the values, so let us substitute it. So it is equal to minus 4085.25 cos 23.92 plus 4085.25 cos 30. Alpha is 30. So if you simplify it, the horizontal force acting on the tower is minus 196.44 kilonewton. Minus indicates it is acting in the negative x direction. Next, to find the vertical force, apply sigma Fy, that is equal to minus TA sin alpha minus TS sin theta. So that is equal to minus TS sin theta minus TS sin alpha. Substitute the values. Minus 4085.25 sin 23.92 minus 4085.25 sin 30. So then the vertical force on the tower is minus 3699.03 kilonewton. That means this tower will be subjected to a force of 3700 kilonewton in the downward direction. Next, moment at the base is calculated by the horizontal force into height of the tower. So the horizontal force is 196.44 into height of the tower is 25 meter. 196.44 into 25. So that will be equal to 4911 kilonewton meter. So at the base, the tower B will experience a moment of 4911 kilonewton meter. And this moment will be in which direction? Because we have negative H, so it will be acting in this direction. So this is inducing anti-clockwise moment at the base. We'll move to the second case, that is cable attached to the saddle mounted on the rollers. So let us draw the diagram. This is tower B, suspension cable, anchor cable, TA, TS, theta, alpha, the resolved components, everything is same. So what is the condition whenever the cable is attached to a saddle or a roller? In that case, the horizontal component of tension in the suspension cable should be equal to horizontal component of tension in the anchor cable. That is, TS cos theta should be equal to TA cos alpha. We know the value of TS, theta and alpha. We don't know the value of TA here. So let us find it out. 4085.25 cos 23.92, that is equal to TA cos 30. So then tension in anchor cable TA is equal to 4312.08 kilonewton. So then when the horizontal components are having the same magnitude, when both are same, the net horizontal force on the tower will be equal to 0, and the net vertical force is equal to minus TS sin theta and minus TA sine alpha. So if you substitute, minus 4085.25 sine 23.92 minus TA is 4312.08 sine 30. So then the net vertical force will be minus 3812.44 kilo Newton. So this tower will be subjected to 3812 kilonewton whenever it is attached to the rollers. Okay, when the cable is attached to the roller. Next, moment at the base, that is M is equal to h into height of the tower. So since the horizontal force h is 0, therefore moment at the base is also equal to 0. Okay. So these are the forces transmitted to the tower whenever it is passing over a pulley or whenever it is subjected or whenever it is attached to a saddle mounted on the rollers. So next we will move to the next part, that is to find the length of the cable. So we have already derived the equation for length of the cable in the first session for this cable, that is I think session number 7 for module 5. Okay. In that session we have derived the equation for length of the cable. So we will directly use it. So length of the cable is given by capital L is equal to L plus 2/3 of h1 square divided by L1 plus h2 square by L2. Let us substitute the values now. Small l is the span, that is equal to 80 meter plus 2/3 of h1 is 5 square divided by 32.66, L1 is 32.66 plus h2 is 10.5 square divided by 47.34. So if we simplify it, the total length of the cable is 82.06 meter. So always remember that length of the cable will be always more than span of the cable. Okay. So then next, to find the diameter of the cable, we know that area of the cable is given by T max divided by the allowable stress, that is equal to maximum tension in the cable is 4085.25 into 10 power 3 kilonewton. We are converting it into newtons. 4085.25 newtons are kilonewtons are there, so we are converting it to newton by multiplying 10 power 3 divided by the allowable stress is 120 Newton per mm square or 120 MPa. So if we simplify it, the area of the cable is 34.04 into 10 power 3 mm square. But area is given by pi by 4 d square. So let us equate it. 34.04 into 10 power 3, that is equal to pi by 4 d square. Hence d can be calculated as 208.19 mm. So you can round it up to 210 mm as the diameter of the cable required. Okay, that is for the today's session, that is analysis of cables subjected to UDL when the supports are at different level. In the next session we will take up the analysis of suspension girder. So that will be the last session for module 5. So till now, that is, we have analyzed 3 hinged arches, both circular and parabolic arches, and now we have analyzed cables with its supports having at same as well as at different level. So in the next session we will take up analysis of suspension girder or suspension truss. Okay, thank you.